I have a great product in front of me. It's called the Labgear DigiLink, and basically it has two purposes. The first thing is it's going to take an output from either a SCART or an RCA and convert it into an RF signal, which we can run through a traditional TV aerial cable, coaxial cable, and run a picture in RF format to a second location. And the second feature it has, is a great feature, is its ability to power a Sky Eye. And this means that at the second location, not alone can you view the channels, but you can actually change the channels on the first set-top box, a little like you can do generally with the older Sky boxes, for instance. So the reason that this design has been so popular is the market leader in this area really has been the TriLink from Triax, and they have very, very closely come up with a product with the basic same design on it. The three big advantages it has really is that number one is some of the reliability problems they can have with certain batches of TriLinks that's been eliminated. The price point it's coming in at is extremely attractive, much lower than with the alternative products on the market. And the final point about it is that it's a very neat, compact design. So when we buy the product, what you'll have is this outer box here. There's basically a user manual in it, and then there's three component parts. There's a power unit. This is essential, powers the overall unit. It's 9 volts, 600 milliamps, I think. There's a sensor here where if we're using it in conjunction with the Sky Eye, we need to use this to take the signal from the Sky Eye to pass on the message to the set-top box to change channels or bring up the volume or something like that. And then finally we have the main event, which is the actual DigiLink here. And at this point, I'm just going to come around to the front of the box. By the way, the manual here is quite good, gives a good overview of exactly how to set it up. But with this video, I think you'll find it quite straightforward. So we come to the front of the unit here. I'm going to talk about the inputs first of all. We'll follow it logically, how this is happening. So we have a SCART input here. So we'll see AV input. We can just see it here. So we put our SCART in. Now we can take a signal in either from a SCART or an RCA. The interest in the RCA is that with some types of modulators this won't work, but this one it does, and an awful lot of set-top boxes are coming with RCAs. So we have the signal in, and if we wanted it, we can actually run a SCART or RCA output from here directly to the local TV. So we can actually have this from the set-top box, taking a signal off, but still working on the local TV. So next we have the option of just turning the unit on or off. With the switch here, and with the RCA, the IR connection here, which will just display, it starts in neatly here, and this is of course for passing the signal from the Sky Eye, as I mentioned. We have a power indicator on top here, very handy, because if you're wondering the unit won't work, why won't it work? Well, you can just see, is it a power issue? LED on, we know we have no problems in that regard. So on the back then, we'll look at our different options. So on the simplest setup, we simply run a SCART in with a signal, and we have an RF output here. We run it to a TV, we can view it there. So that's RF1. On RF2, we have an extra feature where we can actually come along, we have a signal running directly out, and what we're able to do here is we can run it out, but we can also, because of the 9 volt signal, support a Sky Eye, which is quite important to us. And then what we have here, we'll say, is we have an RF in here. So just say we had a local terrestrial input from something else. We could feed it directly in here, combine it in with the RF output from our set-top box, and run all the channels together. And we of course have the power input here, which is of course a vital thing to us. And we'll just plug this in directly here. So just show it here. So I'm just going to disconnect this for neatness so we can flick over the unit. So part of the magic of this is, if we look on the bottom here, how do we control what channel frequency we're going to do in it? So the UHF spectrum, the ones that's used now since the introduction of the 4G network, is from channel 50 or 21 basically to channel 60. So you can come along here and set it up. So the first one here, if we put it in the down position here, the 0 position, what it'll actually do is it'll put it into a test signal mode. We'll show this in a moment. So it just means even without a set-top box, we can actually come along and test to make sure we have the channel set up correctly and we're receiving signal on the far end. And then we can come along and depending on how we use the chart that's here, we can see if we're going to set it up for chart 21 or channel 47, whatever like that. And the switches anyway have to be in set positions, and it's just explained very simply, very straightforwardly there. Now what we've done over here is we have a set-top box. I'll just lift it up for a moment. And you can see an RCA lead on the bottom. I'll just lift it here so you can see it more clearly. There's the RCA, and that's feeding out there. It's going into the SCART and running directly over here. So we've actually come along, we've tuned the television into the channel that we've chosen here. I presume channel 21, something like that is normally what we go with. And if, just to show you the test signal in operation here, if I just put the first dipole here into the test position, it'll just go to a test screen here. So just give me one moment. So you can see that there, test screen, and we just test it. and just push it back in there, we get the actual signal. And you can see the picture quality on it, and it supports the volume, all the rest of it here. So it really, really is a great little piece of kit. The overall advantages of it, I think anyway, mean that will come into the thing. Because Labgear is a very, very well-known brand. So they've developed this product. We watched it on the market for quite some period of time to make sure there would be no issues with it. But all the reports we've got is good, and I can see it just growing and growing in strength. So we made a large bulk purchase on it. We've got a great price on it. And it's one of these products that I think will be, you know, it has a niche in the market, but that niche in the market is hundreds, if not thousands of units here in Ireland and the UK each year that we're selling out anyway, simply because people need to be able to do this all the time. The ability to view a box remotely and change channels remotely is very, very valuable. So that's it anyway, an overview of the Labgear DigiLink available on freetv.ie. Good.